Hey everybody, it's Adam with Party Excitement.
And I'm Brad here with Party Excitement. We also have Boston Event Furniture. However, we want to talk to you about the beginnings today, how we got started with our business. We're actually friends and we've known each other for a long time. So I actually moved to Peabody when I was 10 years old, and that's when I first met Adam. We weren't in the same classes in middle school, but we did go to Hebrew school together, and we became friends. And then we became not friends. And then we became friends again, and we were working together.
I don't know which part we're at now, but
yeah, I don't know either.
we did go to each other's bar mitzvahs. We had other friends who also worked as DJs who we were all in the bar mitzvah circuit. And as time went on and we were working at another company, Brad, I think you were there for about 8 years?
Yeah, well, actually, I think it was closer to 10 years, close.
Okay. And I was there a couple years less. We decided it was time for us to try and do our own thing. So we started looking into starting our own business. We had all different ideas of how to even name a company, but the criteria that we were looking for would be that it had to have a web domain that we could get the .com, and no hyphens or anything like that. That was sort of
and no misspellings. We didn't want excitement. It had to be spelled the right way because nobody would ever find us, in our opinion.
Now, I know my first few pages of looking at
looking at the domains.
Looking at different domains, we had a yellow notepad full of just possibilities. The one I was leaning towards was All Night Long Entertainment, which I'm glad we didn't do. And do you remember what yours was?
It was Party Excitement. I just loved that name.
Before that, you had Party Explosion.
Oh, and man, am I glad I did not pick that, or we did not pick that name.
So Party Excitement was it. And Brad actually kind of brought that to me of like, I think that's what it should be. I didn't love it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But we both agreed we would make this company what it is. So you could really call it anything. Luckily, we didn't call it All Night Long or Party Explosion.
Yeah. And we weren't going to use our names in the title. We wanted it to be a business. We wanted it to be more about not only just us, because we weren't the only ones in the company, but the others involved. We wanted them to feel that they're just as much a part of this company as we are, even though we had to do the heavy lifting.
And actually, fun fact, when we started the company, there was an actual logo that we used, which was a stick figure that we kind of ripped off from a speaker company that had a stick figure, and we just had it tweaked enough that it looked different. You don't see the stick figure anymore because it just whatever, but time moved on. The stick figure was actually to show, though, that we were doing parties for everyone, no matter what their background or anything like that, and that was really the idea.
And the big thing is, for Party Excitement, from the company we came from to what we created, we just wanted to offer more. We wanted more services. We wanted more interaction. And we were already getting a lot of that with our own clients. But the unfortunate part is we were working for a company that did not want to promote us, did not want to expand. So our business plan was, we need to do the opposite of what the company is doing right now. And that's what we did with Party Excitement in 2005. We actually started as a home office. We worked out of Adam's parents' basement for the longest time. And you think it's not as productive, but then when there's tea brought to you at 2 p.m. and there's Chinese food at least 3 times a week, like, it was a good place to be.
I do miss that, and the price was right. And at some point, in addition to the two of us in a room that was probably 10 by 15, somewhere around there, we also added Corey, who is Brad's sister, our office manager for many, many years. So 3 of us, all on phone calls at the same time in a little tiny room. How we didn't kill each other is amazing. Amazing.
I actually think we had a rule that 2 could be on the phone at the same time, but not 3. It was too much. We knew we wanted to open an office, and 5 years into Party Excitement, we actually had the opportunity. And that was the first time we went and we rented an office space because we needed a lot of warehouse. We were using like 4 different storage units. They weren't near each other in the same place. So you'd drive to one, drive to another to get the other piece of equipment. And we're like, we need to bring it all together.
And sorry to interrupt, but the problem was there also is no bathroom. So that's not good. You got multiple storage units, you spend the whole day, there's no bathroom. I'm not going to get into more details, but that wasn't fun either.
You do not want more details on that. However, it revolutionized our company, bringing us into that warehouse space. Because not only was our equipment right there and our office right there, and we were all working together in separate offices, It gave us a chance to expand, to do more company meetings together and bring people in, to go and work on the equipment and work on custom designs and new offerings. And that's what really platformed us, because the one thing is we have a lot of equipment, but we take pride in that. In the beginning, we built a lot of our photo booths, our lighted stages, our DJ booths. These are things that weren't as common. You couldn't just go buy these things, so we had to develop them. And that was very much a crucial part of Party Excitement.
And it was a matter of pride too, because there were a lot of companies back then that were doing similar things. So to come out there with things that we created, we built from really just the idea, a little drawing on paper. Usually Brad would sketch something and then we would start building, and somehow or another we'd get there. Luckily everybody was safe on those dance stages, but it was really an amazing time of trying all these different things. A lot of people in the company were so excited about trying these things too, that we were constantly bringing out new ideas. Some would fail, some would succeed. We had lots of failures. I mean, tons of them, but that's the thing. We're still here, and it was because we always figured, you know what? You have a misstep, we have plenty of space to kind of make this better. And that's what we're trying to do.
I wouldn't use the phrase tons of failures, but it was definitely trial and error, to say the least. So we had this good thing going, and then we started adding in more staff. We needed help in the warehouse, help loading for the weekends as our events and offerings were getting bigger. And this was kind of a cool point. You know, we've maybe had the office for like 3 or 4 years, and then our leasing agents told us we needed to go. And they were gonna relocate us. And it was just so scary, but they actually gave us a bigger spot. And it was right around the corner, so the hassle wasn't too much. And that was even cooler because we brought in more staff to help us during the week. We had bigger events, we had a lot more going on. And that pretty much took us until the pandemic. We were on an uprise. We were doing lots of different events, bar mitzvahs, weddings, social events, corporate events. We started doing a lot more with photo favors and lighting and offering those separate even from our DJ services, which was great. But then I would say this is the first time we had to become entrepreneurs, because there was not a section for DJs during a pandemic. When you couldn't be around people, you couldn't be out in the, you couldn't be in a big room, you couldn't barely be out in the open. There was very little need for our services.
Our industry was shut down. I mean, there really was. We were just at a standstill with a lot of unknown. You know, I remember when it first started to happen, March of 2020, we thought there might be a couple weeks that we wouldn't have work. We were really worried about that. Little did we know it lasted longer than a couple weeks, but it was definitely a learning experience. I wish we didn't have to learn, but we did. And I think we came out a lot better from it because we're much more efficient. I think that we've really tightened things up where it's like, okay, this company made it through hell and back, and now we are really ready to just rock. And I think all the things that maybe were little things in the past just don't seem like there's big of a deal now. Now we can actually just say like, all right, you know what? It's not that bad. It's actually, everything's great.
It did get a lot better. It was tough during that point, but I will say what got us through is teamwork. Myself, Corey, we batten the hatches. We lost a lot of staff, but we had to make up the difference, and that was okay. We got to express our creativity, and it's not like we lied dormant there. Some of our favorite things, Coachella. What is Coachella? Coachella is a music festival. Coachella is what we developed because everyone was on their couch. And we would have DJs from our own company, and then the epiphany, we need our DJ friends, other companies, other DJs, and we would do Tuesdays and Wednesdays live sets, 1 hour sets for each DJ from roughly like 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. It was your music, it was your entertainment. It was a way for us to DJ and interact, and it was awesome. We also have Boston Event Furniture, and that was a very big uptick right before the pandemic of corporate events. But it came with a product that was used for trade show displays. And you could rebuild these glow tables and bars to anything. And we actually built them into translucent and clear dividers. So we were renting dividers to hotels that needed to open up buffets but still needed social distancing. And we sold to churches, to temples, to other businesses that wanted to keep them and not just rent them. So we would build the dividers and then sell them off. By no means did this pay the rent, but it kept us going, and it kept people in our company going, and gave us something to work towards. And we did make it through that pandemic.
We did, and also it gives us a great understanding for some of the other roles in the company, because Brad and I were doing every role in the company. And when I say every, I mean we were in people's backyards setting up dance floors. I know you look at us and say, oh, those guys are so muscular and strong, but it is a lot of work. And it wasn't the work we were usually doing, but it was great. It was a great bonding experience, and it helped propel us that now, again, when things kind of moved on to being a lot better, it really allowed us to be focused on so many other more enjoyable things.
Yeah.
And not that we're happy that any of that happened, but we have seen really, I think, a much better party excitement since the pandemic than before. And I thought it was great before too.
Yeah, it really made us take a big look, because in the beginning, when all of this was happening in 2020, Adam said, hey, I think we should look for smaller warehouses or office spots. And I thought he was crazy. I was borderline offended by this notion, because before that, we were looking for a bigger office space because we were going to combine with another company. So we were really looking to ramp up, and then it's like, now we're ramping down. We need this space. And we had to. I mean, it went on for a long time. We had to get out of our lease, and that was a battle. No credit to the leasing agents. They did not make that easy. And I won't say their name, but I want to. And we really had to work. We were working 3 or 4 days a week just to move our equipment to our friends. Shout out Alex at Gateway. He saved us.
Yeah. Alex at Gateway Productions, when we had nowhere to store our equipment and no way to really operate, he said, I own my building. I have a lot of extra space. Come, bring your stuff up to Newburyport. That was the only downside.
Shout out Newburyport.
But he saved our business, and he never wanted credit. I asked him, I told him I wanted to rave about him on social media. He didn't want that, but he's getting it right now, because the truth is he single-handedly helped us get out of a terrible situation. So thank you, Alex.
Thank you. But that epiphany of moving things around and how you whittle down your company, what things you offer, what is good, what has been sitting on shelves for 5 years, but you're not ready to throw away that Tiki Hut DJ booth that I built in 2007. But we had to. We whittled it down. Yes, we built, yes. 80-20 split on that, but that's fine. But it made us become more efficient, not in just the actual equipment we had and the fine tuning we did, but the processes in terms of how we met with clients. We weren't doing in-office meetings. We did a lot of Zoom. We were doing a lot of Zoom calls, a lot of more efficient, more planning sheets, more videos, more things to show people if we couldn't be there face to face with them. And when the pandemic eventually subsided and we went back to a normal reality, it helped us tremendously. Yeah. And I can't, say enough, because we needed that learning curve. It took us, it definitely knocked us down a little bit, and we learned to get back up, and we survived. So short of absolutely shutting down our industry, we're really ready for it.
Yeah, I mean, we actually get paid to do something that we absolutely love. Yeah. Do I love every aspect? No. I could skip some payroll. Yeah. But honestly, I mean, if you told teenage Adam that he would get to play music and get people to have some of the best memories of their life, and you get paid for it, I wouldn't have thought that was a real job. And it is. We've made a career out of it somehow. We've made some great friends within our company.
Absolutely.
Industry friends. We do a lot of networking. I mean, it really has become kind of our identities. Even though they say your job shouldn't be your identity, it's kind of hard to escape this, because truthfully, we love it. We absolutely love it. And in times where we're not working, it's texts and calls back and forth. They're like, oh, check this out. Look at this new equipment. We are just as excited for this, I feel, maybe even more so than when we were 18 and trying to start the company. So it was really...
And we whittled things down. Our work life became way more efficient, and that became way more efficient for our workers and our clients. It was a huge epiphany. But we get paid to party, and now the party is on. So, I mean, we're sitting here today at the Verve Hotel. It's like a home away from home. It's a Thursday. On Saturday, I am going to be in one ballroom with my team doing a bar mitzvah. Another one of our MCs, Steven, is going to be in the other ballroom doing another mitzvah. And that's all going on at the same time. It's just madness.
And that's just here.
And that's just here.
Yeah.
But we love it. And we love our vendor friends. Our vendor friends kept us going. Our photographers, videographers, venues, party planners.
Other DJs.
Other
I mean, the DJ
DJs.
community came together in a way that was really epic. I mean, we all kind of knew each other, but it was like, wow, we are all just dying to get out and entertain, and we couldn't. And like Brad said earlier, we found a way, and I think it helped everyone. It's very therapeutic.
Yeah.
For us, DJing is really an awesome.
It is.
Awesome.
It really is. And if you've made it this far in the video, thank you.
Well, thanks, Mom.
All of our mothers need to be thanked. And, you know, we just appreciate you. We love creating content. We love what we do on the DJ side of things. We love creating new events, even when we're not the DJs, with our furniture and lighting and letters, and just bringing new ideas because it keeps us going. So for that, we say thank you.
Yep, we are coming up on 19 years of Party Excitement.
July
and
2nd, yes.
Yep, we'll talk to you about 19 years later.